Where's the shooter? The SEAL team leader's voice crackled through the radio as another round split the air, dropping his point man behind a mud wall in Kandahar. Nobody saw her. Staff Sergeant Raven Blackwood had been concealed in the irrigation canal for 3 hours, using a tactical rebreather system, her rifle sealed in waterproof casing. The Taliban sniper who'd pinned down an entire SEAL platoon was 890 meters away, convinced he was untouchable. He never heard the shot that killed him, but the SEALs heard the whisper over comms. Target down. Ghost 206 out. They'd spend 6 months trying to find out who Ghost 206 was. When they finally did, nobody believed a 28-year-old Army staff sergeant had just saved America's most elite warriors. Fort Liberty, North Carolina, present day. Staff Sergeant Raven Blackwood stood at attention in the Joint Special Operations Command conference room, her dress uniform bearing ribbons most soldiers never see. 28 years old, Native American features carved sharp by years in combat zones. She'd been summoned from teaching at the Army Sniper School. Whether you're watching from California, New York, or anywhere across our great nation, subscribe now for more untold stories of America's shadow warriors. The room held 15 men, Delta Force operators, SEAL team leaders, Green Berets. They needed someone for an operation nobody else would take. Someone who could disappear into water, into earth, into nothing. Someone who'd spent 4 years operationally attached to Joint Special Operations Command, operating alone in places where backup meant death. General Morrison opened her file. It showed 3 bronze stars with V device, a silver star pending upgrade, and dozens of confirmed engagements across Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. What it didn't show were the operations that never happened, the shots that saved entire units, the ghost who moved through water like death itself. They called her the River Wraith, her nickname. Ghost 206 was her operational call sign. Raven learned to shoot on the Blackfeet Reservation in Montana, where her grandfather, a Vietnam-era Marine Force recon sniper, raised her after her parents died. He taught her the old ways, reading wind through grass movement, controlling breath until her heartbeat vanished, becoming part of the earth itself. More importantly, he taught her about water. Their ancestors had used rivers as highways, as shields, as weapons. By age 14, she could hold her breath for 4 minutes, shoot a running deer at 400 meters, and track a man through forest without breaking a single twig. She enlisted at 18, choosing Army over Marines because they'd guarantee her sniper school after basic. The instructors at Fort Benning had never seen anyone shoot like her, not just accurately, but instinctively, as if the bullet's path was visible before she fired. During her second deployment to Afghanistan, attached to 3rd Ranger Battalion, she'd spent 9 hours partially submerged in a sewage ditch to eliminate a high-value target. The Rangers captain had recommended her for JSOC assessment after that. She was the youngest soldier ever selected for their specialized sniper program. But her real reputation came from Operation Iron Thunder in Syria, when she'd held an overwatch position in the Euphrates River for 14 hours. Neutralizing 7 ISIS fighters who'd ambushed a Delta Force squadron. Her longest confirmed kill that day, 1,240 meters with a Remington MSR chambered in .338 Lapua Magnum, using hand-loaded match ammunition. General Morrison closed her file and looked up. Staff Sergeant Blackwood, we have a situation. A rogue Afghan Special Forces commander trained by us has taken 32 American contractors hostage in Helmand Province. He knows our tactics, our patterns. He's killed 2 SEAL teams we sent in. A Navy captain interrupted. We need an unconventional approach. Someone who operates outside standard doctrine. Raven studied the satellite imagery they showed her. A compound surrounded by irrigation canals. Flat fields of opium poppies providing no cover for miles. Guard towers with overlapping fields of fire. The Taliban commander, Hassan Rahimi, she recognized the name. He'd been trained at Fort Bragg 8 years ago before turning. The SEALs want to do an air assault, Morrison continued. Delta wants to breach at night. Both plans mean casualties. Rahimi knows both playbooks. What's the water temperature in those canals? Raven asked. The room went silent. A Delta major laughed. You're not seriously suggesting 62 degrees Fahrenheit in October. Hypothermia risk after extended exposure, Raven said. But with proper thermal protection and conditioning, I can operate for 4 to 5 hours. Give me a two-man support element, my MSR in .338 Lapua in 12 hours. No helicopters, no breach, no firefight. The SEAL captain shook his head. The canals vary, some sections 4 feet, some deeper. You'll be exposed in shallow areas. Not if I move at night and position before dawn. Not if I use the debris fields and natural concealment. I've done this before. General Morrison leaned forward. The hostages include the Secretary of Defense's niece. We've been ordered to retrieve them within 72 hours. If you fail, I don't fail, sir. I adapt to the environment until the mission succeeds. The Delta Major scoffed. No woman has ever. Raven's eyes went cold. Gender doesn't pull triggers, Major. Training and patience do. Would you prefer to send another team to die? Outside the conference room, Raven stood alone on the balcony, looking at the setting sun. She thought about her grandfather's last words before cancer took him. The river doesn't fight the rocks, child. It goes around, under, through. Be the river. She'd been in the river for 10 years, flowing through combat zones, carrying death in her current. Never seen, always felt. The water had become her home more than land ever was. Her phone buzzed. A text from her sister on the reservation saw the news about hostages. I know you can't tell me, but be careful. Your nephew asks when Aunt Raven is visiting. Her nephew. 8 years old, the same age she'd been when grandfather started teaching her to shoot. She promised to take him hunting this winter, to pass on what grandfather had given her. But first, 32 Americans needed to come home. The conference room door opened. Master Sergeant Williams, a Delta operator, stepped out. I've read your file. That shot in Syria, 1,240 meters with match-grade loads. Should have been impossible even with .338 Lapua. Everything's impossible until someone does it, Master Sergeant. He handed her a sealed folder. Your support team. We launch in 6 hours. The SEALs are betting you can't do it. $50,000 in their pool says you never make the shot. Tell them I don't bet on other people's pride, just on my training. Helmand Province, Afghanistan. 200 hours. Raven slipped into the irrigation canal 2 miles from the target compound, her 5mm wetsuit and thermal underlayer providing crucial insulation against the cold. Master Sergeant Williams and Sergeant First Class Torres set up an observation post 1,600 meters away, their thermals tracking her heat signature as it faded into background noise. Ghost 26 entering the river, she whispered into her bone conduction mic. The current was stronger than expected, fed by mountain snowmelt. The canal depth varied, 4 feet in some sections, nearly 6 in others. She used the deeper channels, her closed-circuit rebreather eliminating any bubble trail. 90 minutes in, her core temperature had dropped to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, manageable with her conditioning. Her grandfather's voice echoed, "The cold is just another environment." She reached her position, 450 meters from the compound's main building, where storm debris had collected in a canal bed. Through her scope, she counted 17 guards, memorized their patterns. At 0400, Rahimi emerged to pray. She had a clear shot, but held. The hostage's location was still unknown. Predator imagery shows thermal anomalies consistent with multiple persons in the northwest building's lower level, Williams radioed. She watched Rahimi walk to that building, followed by 2 guards carrying food. 32 portions. The hostages were alive. At 0530, as dawn approached, activity increased. Guards changing shifts. She counted walking patterns, memorized faces. Rahimi emerged again, this time with a video camera. He was going to execute someone. One guard dragged out an American contractor, forcing him to kneel. Raven's breathing stopped. The shot was 447 meters, wind at 6 miles per hour, full value. Time dilated. Raven's world narrowed to the mechanical precision of the shot. Water dripped from her rifle barrel as she emerged just enough to clear the optic. Her core temperature was 93 degrees, hypothermic by medical standards, but her hands remained steady through force of will and training. Rahimi raised his pistol to the contractor's head, beginning his propaganda speech. The first shot took Rahimi through the temporal lobe at 447 meters. Before his body hit dirt, she'd cycled the bolt with practiced efficiency. The second shot caught the camera operator center mass. The third shot dropped the guard holding the contractor. The compound exploded into chaos. Guards ran toward Rahimi's body, exposing themselves. Raven became methodical. Bolt, breathe, squeeze, cycle. 5 more precise shots in 20 seconds, each finding its mark. William's voice crackled. Delta and SEALs inbound, 3 minutes. She targeted the basement guards next. Through a window the size of a dinner plate, she threaded a round that caught the first guard in the chest. The second tried to execute hostages. Her shot caught him mid-turn. 2 guards found her position, spraying AK-47 fire toward the canal. The rounds lost energy quickly in the water, fragmenting within a meter. She let the current carry her 20 meters downstream, then surfaced behind a new cover. 2 shots, 2 more dead. MH-60 Black Hawks appeared on the horizon. Delta Force fast-roped into the compound as SEALs secured the perimeter. The firefight lasted 40 seconds. She'd eliminated 15 of 24 guards before they'd arrived. Raven moved to her extraction point. When Williams pulled her from the canal, her core temperature read 91 degrees. She was shaking uncontrollably, but still conscious. Fort Liberty, 6 weeks later. Raven stood in the same conference room, a silver star newly pinned to her uniform, while her Distinguished Service Cross recommendation worked through channels. The same 15 men who doubted her stood and applauded, rare in special operations. General Morrison handed her an envelope. The SEALs, 50,000. They want you to have it. She opened it, found a check and a note. Ghost 206. You're invited to run our combat swimming course. We need to understand water operations like you do. Naval Special Warfare, the Delta Major who'd scoffed approached. I owe you an apology. My brother was one of those contractors. Raven nodded. No apology needed, Major. Just doing what I was trained for. Later, she sat by a river near Bragg, on the phone with her nephew. Aunt Raven, when are you coming home? Next week, little warrior. I'll teach you to shoot, just like my great-grandfather taught me. Will you tell me about the river? She smiled, watching the water flow. The river remembers everything, child, but it is only shared with those who respect it. That night, the Special Operations Community's private network carried a simple message: the river wraith is real, and she's ours. Staff Sergeant Raven Blackwood returned to teaching at sniper school. Her students joked about their instructor who could disappear into water. They had no idea how literally true that was. The 32 contractors she'd saved started a foundation in her grandfather's name, providing shooting equipment to Native American reservations. She never spoke publicly about the operation. Rivers, after all, keep their secrets.
I just want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you. Folded hands, your love, support, likes, comments, and subscriptions mean the world to me. Without you, this journey wouldn't be possible. Every view, every share, and every encouraging word keeps me motivated to create more content for you all. I'm truly grateful to have such an amazing community by my side. Let's keep growing together and making this journey even more special. Red Heart.